Hola, mi gente. Aku here from Soy la Medicina by Miracles Within Us. I'm so excited to be here with you on this beautiful Sunday to do this reading with you. May you enjoy this reading as much as I enjoy doing it. Hola and welcome, mi gente, to your daily reading for this beautiful Sunday. I hope your weekend is going well. Whatever it is you're deciding to do this weekend, may it be fun, may it be good, may it teach you something about yourself. This Friday, I attended a cacao circle by the water, and it was so gorgeous. And I'll share some stuff on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me there. Um, and I also yesterday, Saturday, went to a dance, a silent disco dance by Reboot, and it was very beautiful by the water. It was by the water as well. This was at the beach, and we watched the sunset, and then we had a sacred fire. Ooh, when I said sacred fire, you saw that kind of fly. And it's the Ace of Pentacles. New beginnings, sharing your wealth, sharing your ideas. I was just like in my brain, like, should I be sharing this or not? But I feel like for whatever reason, I'm going to trust that I am sharing this for a reason. It's like, how are you taking care of yourself in this moment, right? Even though there are things that have to get done, there's a lot of work that I have to do, right? I'm still taking some time to do the things that illuminate my spirit and my soul. I love dancing. I love hearing the sounds of the water. I love watching the sunset and the sunrise. I love being in communion with people who also love the same things. I love the sacred fire and listening to really good Afro beats. It was like some really good Afro Latino mixed with some like Indian kind of vibe. And there were different channels. Um, Yet I was really into that one, and everyone was vibing, and it was just such a beautiful experience. And I'll be sharing that stuff again on my Instagram, Miracles Within Us. Right. So let's begin our reading. Let's see what we have here. Let's start with the bottom of the deck. We have the Dreamer of Pentacles. Look at that. Do you see that? This woman is inside of what looks like a keyhole. And she has animals around her. She has a chicken, I think this is a crab, and a wolf. And her hair is just kind of floating, right? And the Dreamer of Pentacles, it's like the page or the Queen of Pentacles, right? Gives off that sort of energy. And underneath everything that's going on for this beautiful Sunday, what is being called is to see that inside the keyhole lives you, lives all of nature and your connection to everything. Because there's also a crescent moon here, right? And I was just sharing around this energy of like dancing in, as the sun was setting and then the moon was out and the stars, and then another group of people from a distance started doing fireworks, right? And I was just like, this is so magical. You cannot plan these moments, you just have to live in the moment to have the moment, right? And there's just certain things that you have to trust about the impulses you feel, right? There's a time that we sit and we focus, right? Because there are things to get done. And then there's the other times that we must also allow ourselves where we can be free flowing and trusting the internal impulses that tell us to go somewhere or do something, right? And a lot of the times, I know that for myself, I would dismiss that. Like, oh, right now, just journal. And I'm like, no, but I have this to do and that to do and this to do. And I'm learning and I'm sharing with you that when you feel those impulses, it's for a reason because something is coming through you at that time, right? I had a lot of stuff to do. I still have a lot of stuff to do. Yet I'm still allowing myself to also integrate the things that feed my spirit, right? Cacao is a very sacred plant to me at this time, and it's a part of my ritual every day. I have some right here, right? And I'll be sipping it because it is, for me, such a connector, a grounder, a heart opener, and it's everything. It's the smell, it's the taste, it's the warmness, right? It's all of those things, and then the sensation that it provides within my spirit, right? And so there is a need to look at those things and remember them and to have love and respect towards them, right? What I love about doing cacao every morning is that it requires me to slow down, right? And I feel like this is needed to be shared, right? It requires for a slow down. I put on my music that is honoring to cacao, and you can find many playlists on YouTube, cacao ceremony music, and you sing to the cacao. And that slows you down in a way where you're not just doing, oh, let me just cut this and let me just put it in the water and let me just stir it and let me just drink it. No, you become intentional. And that gives you so much fuel for so much longer, right? Little Rocky, little Rocky. It gives you so much fuel for so much more, right? That little pause in the beginning fuels more. And that's what I also feel with this Dreamer of Pentacles. Pentacles is the physical. It's how are you physically taking care of your spirit, right? We think of spirit and our soul and that as things that are like not physical, but there are physical things we do. Like I burn sage a lot. When I come in through the door, I take off my shoes and I'm turning on the sage and I'm right? I'm letting myself unwind from everything outside, not bringing it into my home so that I can be what I need to be here, like I am right now. Like today, I just feel so much more calmness. And I noticed looking back at some of the videos from last week, I could see that as the week was going, more and more my energy felt really like sharp. And I'm like, that isn't really the expression of me. That is the part of me that's trying to survive through the moments. And I saw it, even though I'm doing what I love, I realized I need to get softer inside of myself because in that softness and then directness, I'm able to communicate in a way where you can hear me, where you can also integrate what is being said and also be the example, right? We could say and say and say, but we must be of the walking example, right? If you have children and you're constantly yelling at them, guess what? They're going to be yelling back at you, right? And then we like, oh, they're so disrespectful. You disrespecting them. They're just mimicking you, right? So this is the moment where we recognize, I think I've been giving off the wrong energy. It's up to me. It's up to me. It's up to me. And that's what this Dreamer of Pentacles is also inviting us into this reading with, right? She is inside the keyhole. Let me show you that again, right? It's like she doesn't even need the key at this moment. She is the keyhole. She is beyond that, right? When you're looking into the little hole of the keyhole, she is in that connection, right? And she has her arms out and she has these animals, right, that are with her. And you would not think a crab would be next to a wolf, right? But because of her presence, she brings in that's that all of those creatures to see and respect one another, right? And the rooster in the bottom as well. They all bring a different kind of characteristic, right? What does a rooster bring, right? In the morning, they do crack-a-doo-doo, and they let you know it's morning. The sun has come. Yay! Right? And so a lot of us, we think it's annoying because we're still sleeping or we want to sleep more. And there goes the rooster. And the rooster is praising the sun, singing his song. But it is the way in which we see it that we miss out on the glory. And we're being invited to see things for what they truly are, not for the conditioning that has served some authorial message or modem, right? It's about allowing ourselves to see that I need to slow down to hear the truth. I need to allow myself to feel the truth, and through that, I must be able to question the things that once have been in place. I'll share this one thing and we'll do more of this. So just this morning, I was a little scrolling on my Instagram and I came across a post that talked about that we're not meant to sleep 8 hours. And I was like, what do you mean? I sometimes feel like I need more, right? So then I started to read into the post more, and what they were sharing was that 8 hour model was actually created by the mattress company. Before then, people used to sleep in like sections of time. They would sleep 2 hours, then or 4 hours and wake up, and then they would create something, right? And then they would go back to sleep in another 2, 3 hours. And that was the rhythm. And what they were showing in this when I was reading is that a lot of brilliant people like Einstein came up with a lot of great things, and Shakespeare, right, who came up with beautiful poetry and ways to express different things of what was going on. They came to those awarenesses in those breaks of time when they would sleep 4 hours, wake up for another two, and then go back to bed. And we've lost that. And now we say that if you can't sleep through the night, you have insomnia. We've made it a problem. We've made you believe that we are diseased, that we have insomnia, that we have a problem. And the thing is, you're being awakened at those times. We're being awakened at 1, 2, 3 in the morning because that is the time of our creative time. There's some creation that happens, right? Like if we think about everything, it's birth in the darkness. We lived in the womb of our mother in the darkness for 9 months, right? A seed lives underground in the darkness for a while before it sees the light. Everything that is created comes from a place first of that introspection of darkness. The creative flow is under there. And so we have lost touch with that because there has been agendas that just want to sell us something. They want to harvest off of our energy, right? Off of our resources. Because the thing is, if we have that sort of sleep schedule, right? What would that then mean? That we can't work the way we've been working. Because it's going to be very difficult to now go and spend 8 hours sitting behind the desk. Because our rhythm, our natural rhythm, does not follow that, yet we are trying to make ourselves that way. And that's why we have so much imbalances at this time. That's why over time everyone is getting sick. We are not supposed to be sick, right? Like we're supposed to die through the natural process of dying, right? In ancient times, when the grandmother, the grandfather knew that it was their time, they would go into the forest, find a tree, and go. It wasn't because they were suffering with this disease for 10,000 years, exaggerating, right? And that the disease took them. No, they knew the cycle. They respected the time they had here. Right now we are not living to the maximum potential of who we can be. We are not living the longevity that we can, because there's all these attacks to our system coming to us from many different directions. But in order for us to break out of that mold, we have to be willing to deprogram and question, right? And the thing is, we don't question enough. And the thing is, we find that when we question is wrong. I see this with children as well. Like, oh, so why does this go this way? And why do we have to do that? And a lot of times we get short with them. Just do it as I said and don't ask all these questions. We have a lot to learn and unlearn. First, we need to unlearn so that we can and then open up to the truth around how things are supposed to be. And I don't have all the solutions, and this is not going to give us all the solutions, but what we can do is become aware and start at one step at a time with ourselves, right? And that's what this dreamer of pentacles is talking about. Underneath everything, what is in the keyhole? What am I opening the door to? That is what we're asking ourselves at this time, and bringing in all different types of elements, right? And we're talking about the elements of nature, we're talking about the elements of life, the cycles of life in ourselves. Okay, so let's see what we have here. On the first line in reverse, we have the, ooh, you saw that? Butterfingers, butterfingers. In reverse, we have the Five of Wands. Then we have the Four of Pentacles. And then we have in reverse the Eight of Wands. Yesterday, we got this Onion card. I believe it was yesterday. The Four of Pentacles, where it was talking about unfolding, right? Taking the layers out so we can see the structure, because the four is connected to divine structure. It's connected to the four elements. It's connected to the four seasons, right? It's connected to the four directions, right? All of these things. And there is this need to peel back the onion, and go to the core, right? And it's a little bit difficult at this time with this Five of Wands energy in reverse and this Eight of Wands in reverses. We're not seeing that there are things that we need to kind of cut off, right? With this Five of Wands in the reverse, it's like it feels like impatience, fighting with yourself around the knowing I need to slow down, but no, this has to get done and this has to get done. And by the end of the day, you're just falling in your bed, right? Like, you're not connecting to your spirit, you're not reflecting on your day, you're not sharing your wisdom with the youth, you're not, and you fill in the blank, right? It's like this sort of, are you happy with your life? And I feel like a lot of us, we're surviving our life, right? We're trying our best to be like, oh, I'm doing the best that I can, and I'm trying to stay optimistic. But I invite you to go a little bit deeper around what it is that you are wanting, because there's some sort of illusion, some sort of lie that you're telling yourself, and it's just to get you going to the next step, right? And the thing is, if you're moving through a space of lying to yourself, your result is still going to be one that you don't like. So there is this need to put to rest certain behaviors about yourself and about others, but you're going to have a challenge. This Eight of Wands is speaking of a challenge. because it was in the reverse. You're not seeing how powerful you are. You're not seeing that you are the one that is able to make the difference, to make the change, to change things around, to flip them around, right? On the second row, we have the Ten of Swords in reverse, which I'm actually happy about because Ten of Swords is like betrayal. It's deep, deep wounds. This is being stabbed in the back, that now it's stabbed in the back so many times that it has impacted your life, right? There's a difference between, oh, someone betrayed you and stuff, but it didn't take anything from you. The Ten of Swords is, it deterred you from your path. It has pushed you so far away from yourself you don't recognize your own face in the mirror. That is what this energy is. And the thing is, with the Ten of Swords in reverse, I like it because you're finally seeing it. You see it. And you're seeing it from a place of not just like, poor me, oh, how will I ever catch up? No, you're seeing it so that you can learn from it. And then right after that is the Ace of Pentacles that went flying out. When I was questioning, should I share this story? I was literally in my head while I was talking to you. Should I start all over again? Should I just put this away and start all over again? Because I just started sharing things that I don't know if I should share. And the Ace of Pentacles came out. And the Ace of Pentacles is about sharing your abundance, right? Like you see here, there is a new beginning of sharing abundance. And it may not, there's not a lot, but there's something. And so there's something in the message of what I shared that speaks to you. And that's what this is also talking about, because in the past, with the Ten of Swords energy, you were led to believe that if your home wasn't clean, if your car wasn't the up-to-date car, or your phone isn't the most up-to-date phone, that you're falling behind, that you're never gonna catch up, that whatever story, right? If I have my house dirty and my partner comes home, then what? Then they're gonna think I'm lazy. They're gonna think, and it's not true. It's sometimes we just don't get to do those things because we have a priority in other things. And this is where it's like we're led to believe that certain things that we have as a priority are false, right? The thing that we're going to remember while when we transition is not, oh, I always have my house clean. No, what you're going to remember is the interactions you have with people, the way in which you spoke to your loving family or not loving family, whatever, how you spoke and communed with people. That is what you take with you. You're not taking the clean house. You're not even going to think about that. It's not going to be important. It's not important, right? It's not. But we put so much of our energy and focus in it. And let me tell you, I love my house clean. I'm not like, be messy. No, I'm a pretty clean person. And anyone who knows me, they know, right? Take off my shoes. I have, coasters for all my little things because I like my stuff to last, right? And I like things to look pretty. It inspires me. If chaos creates a lot for me, but I also have boundaries where it's like I also must do the things that I know that are really important, which is speaking to people's hearts, building connections, right? Speaking the truth even though it may be difficult. Like I have a lot of difficult conversations with people because of this line of work, right? People share with me their most hardest moments, and I must look at them and give them support. And that requires a lot of love, a lot of attention, a lot of knowing of myself in order to do that for others. I can't give you what I don't have, right? If I'm giving you my undivided attention, it is because I am giving that to me too, right? And so that is the thing here, is like this necessity to recognize the truth and what's really important for you today, because we're moving into the new moon energy. We're already in the new moon energy in Cancer, I believe it is. I think it's either the 13th, which 13th or 14th is the new moon in Cancer. So we're in the shadow of the new moon. Excuse me. And in that shadow of the new moon, we're still feeling that energy, the newness. And it's like this new moon is setting the tone for the next 6 months. What are we putting today so that by January, February time, we're feeling good when we have that full moon in Cancer, right? It's that 6 month period. So right now we're being asked to drop the swords, to see the betrayals for what they are, and also see maybe where you've betrayed yourself, because a lot of this has a lot of self stabbing. I didn't speak up for myself. I let that go along for way too long, and now this situation thinks that they can talk to me that way, be that way. They demand to be in the way of their disrespect now, when I was just kind of letting it be. And now you're being called to drop all of that and start anew. And it starts with you, with the pentacle, with that Ace of Pentacle, sharing what you have now, sharing what you have now, and then moving forward. Then we have the Seven of Swords. And talking about the moon, I wasn't really focused, but these are like moons. I know it's a little hard to see, right? So, and it's like the phases of the moon, right? From the full moon over here all the way back around, right? And so I like this energy because even though this is the Seven of Swords, there's a big divine cup there, and there's a man standing there. Baby, no. There's a man standing there, and then there's the sword. And the sword feels like, like a spinner, like you're spinning the sword. And swords are about the air, the mind, the thoughts. And we have the Seven of Swords, which is like your options, your possibilities. Where will this land? And the thing is, you're the one holding the sword. You're the divine cup. And this cup has like flames kind of coming up as well. And this cup is like really big proportion. So I feel like, and for me, the cup represents like the heart in this tarot deck. So like there's something in the heart, the bigness of your heart, that you are pulling out the sword and then you pointing it in the right direction. And now that we're moving into the new moon, or we're in the new moon energy, we're being called to slow down enough to get our thoughts to calm down, and so that we can have direction and then move into the action, right? Because the pentacle is all about the doing, the action. All right, let's see what else wants to come up for us. Wow, 10 of Pentacles, the Fool. 10 of Pentacles came in reverse. I would have liked it in its upright, but let's see. And it's interesting, you see how they landed? Both landed right on the Ace of Pentacles. Okay? 10 of Pentacles on top of the Ace of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles, let me show it to you, right? And its reverse is like, I don't see how this beginning, this me just sharing this little thing that I have right now, how this thing is going to make me the 10 of Pentacles. There's almost like this disbelief in the self that you're like, I don't know how I'm going to go from 1 to 10. And I'm doubting myself around sharing this pentacle. I'm doubting myself around sharing what I do know now because I can't see where it's going. And this is where your spirit is asking you to be more like the fool. The fool energy is not like you're fool, like an idiot. The fool energy is the energy that you're willing to start something new even though you don't know, right? And it's the zero number if you see here, right? So there is this like needing to balance those critical self-sabotaging thoughts, right? Like you got some thoughts going on there. That's why the 10 of swords is here, the 7 of swords, right? Like you got some thoughts going on that around yourself that aren't kind. And this is a moment to start having like that undeniable faith in yourself, to be like the fool, to go and have your head up high even though you don't know where this is going. It feels like whatever you are sharing, this ace of pentacles, right? Whatever you're thinking right now, is this what Melissa's talking about around um sharing? Whatever it is that you just thought about, this is saying some yes to it, right? There's a yes to that idea that you feel like, well, I don't really know where this will go and how it will bring me money, um or any of those things. And the truth is, you won't know until you try. You won't know until you start doing it, right? It's kind of like right now here, me with you. I could try to be perfect in doing the videos and this and that, or I could just show up and then learn as I go along, because there's only so much learning you can do in your mind before you actually have it out here. There's certain experiences that you will never know until you are in it, how to handle it, where to go from it, what to get from it, right? So there is like this need to trust in yourself and your ideas, right? And to believe that you will reach the 10 of Pentacles. But for you to do so, you can't go and say, this thing that maybe I have this idea to just share around my cooking recipes. And I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know how this will make me money, but I just feel like I'm going to just start showing some of my yummy recipes. Maybe there's like, 10-minute meals that I do every day that keep me going, right? And you just don't know where it's going to take you. And that's what it's saying. It's like, you don't have to know all of it. What you need to trust is in the divine yes that you're feeling inside your spirit before you start bombarding it with all your self-doubt. Because there's self-doubt, self-criticism. And let me tell you, it is causing a lot of delays for you. It's causing a lot of delays. This way of looking at yourself that isn't like your fullest potential. You're really down on yourself. You're not you're not giving yourself enough credit. Like, you're not. You're not giving yourself enough credit for what you have gone through until this moment. And you're not giving yourself enough credit for the ideas that are now coming into you in those night hours, in your dreams, right? In conversations, when you're speaking to someone and you get that inspiration, like, yeah, I should talk about this more. That gave me some good feeling vibe. I want to take this vibe into something else. Let me write about it. Let me talk about it. Let me research about it, right? Don't talk yourself out of those bursts of energies, because that is where the creation is coming. And that creation is the answered prayers you've been asking for. What am I here to do? What am I supposed to do? I know I'm supposed to do more than this. I know I'm supposed to have more in my life than this. I know that I'm meant to live in a slower paced life, or I know I'm meant to live in the city in a high rise. Whatever it is, right? It's removing the judgment and standing in the truth around, I'm going to start with the inspiration I feel now. And I don't know where that'll go, and I don't know if it will be the right thing or not until I try. But regardless if you find it to be a good or bad thing later on, there's a lesson there that you will then take with you that can never be taken from you. Know that. Feel that truth. Whatever I've been through up to this point, whether it was good or bad, how I see it, it was suffering or not, it has given me something now. And the giving that is given you is not just more suffering or those things. No, go beyond that part. Go beyond the suffering. Go a little deeper. What have I really learned? Oh, I learned around different people's personalities. I learned that I don't work well with this personality actually. Oh, I learned that I need to take my time when making decisions. So whenever anyone asks me something around doing something, even if I feel good about it, I'm going to say, can I get back to you? Right? And you could give yourself a time. I'll get back to you in 2 days or by the end of the night, right? Whatever it is, but that you honor that, right? So that you are honoring your way of doing and being in this world. There have been a lot of lies and propaganda placed upon us because there was an agenda to sell and harvest our energy, and it is still happening, right? Me learning about this morning, I was like, wow, that makes sense to so many times I've woken up in the middle of the night and started journaling and wrote the most amazing things or got the clarity I needed, cried the tears I was holding back that I didn't know how to do so before, and then I had my releases, right? Made so much sense, right? And I was like, wow, just they there are energies that are willing to put our own well-being at risk just to make a dollar. And that's what you have to see. I'm the one that is breaking out of that. And that's going to require self-confidence and a backbone and learning and growth and falling and coming up, right? But like they say, I will rise, right? I will always rise, right? So yeah, this was quite an interesting reading, right? May it speak to your heart. May you allow yourself to see that gift that you have to give now, and that it will birth into something beautiful in the future. But you have to be willing to take the risk now. You have to be willing to be playful. And I just noticed here, you see this image. There's a dog here, kind of look like my little Rocky, right? I am doing something new here, right? Posting every day. And there has been challenges, right? Times I'm like really late in the day because something unexpected happened that I needed to take care of. But my commitment is to show up every day right now, right? And that's what I'm doing because that was what was birthed in my spirit. That was my spirit who told me, and I'm not going to um, betray myself any longer, right? Until I hear you don't need to do it every day or change it up or maybe 2 times a day. I don't know. I do not know, but I'm trusting what is happening. And I'm trusting that this is going to reach the right people, right? I'm trusting that it will inspire you to break out of the mold so that you can yourself start seeing beyond what has been given to you, see the truth of what is going on. There's many things that we have normalized that are not good for us, right? Just having 2 days a week as the days that we can take care of everything and to give ourselves what we need and take care of ourselves, that was a sold idea. and we all fell for it. And we still all live for the Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday rolls around and we're all like, oh, there wasn't enough time. And it's true, it wasn't. So thank you so much for being here. If you feel called, you can book your 30-minute complimentary session on my site, soylamedicina.com. The information will be somewhere here. And I'm looking forward to speaking to you. I want to have these deep conversations, right? It's not just, oh, I'm going to pull some cards for you. I will. We're going to, do some cards and see what's going on. But I want to have some deep conversations with you. I want to have those conversations where we can try to come up with the truth around all these things that are not helping us, right? Let's break through the mold. And who knows, you might be the next one whose voice gets heard that creates the ripple effect that then shifts how we then sleep again and how we see work and how we see parenting, right? We shouldn't be, especially mothers, I don't think mothers or fathers should go back to work when their child is born. I think we need to have more time with our children. They're very fresh into this world, and here we are just giving it off to someone else because we need to go pay a bill. We need to put a roof over our head, and I understand that, but at what cost? At the cost of the connection with our children, our future. That's the cost. I think that's a horrible cost, right? It's not a good exchange. It's a sucky exchange. And what are we going to do about it? Those are the conversations I want to talk to. I want to talk to you out there who have some ideas around how we could start shifting this, because we need to. We're all crying for it. All right, my loves. From my heart to yours, de mi corazón hasta la tuya. We'll speak tomorrow. Ciao. Happy Sunday.